Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. Welcome to episode 294, Pen to Paper, How Journaling Can Help You Stop Over Drinking. Well, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm really excited about this topic because I get asked all the time, do I have to journal? I hate journaling. Do I have to? Why do I have to do it? Tell me how. I've never been able to stick with it. I mean, I get so many questions about journaling to do this work, and I'm going to dive into it in this episode. So I hope you enjoy. All right, so I'm going to answer the first question that I get, why journaling? And I think it's really important for you to understand why we do things instead of just doing things without giving it much thought, right? Especially if you feel challenged around journaling. I think it's important to understand why we want to journal. So for me, in my journey to stop over drinking and ultimately leave alcohol in my past and to change my life, improve my relationships, lose weight, establish a healthy exercise pattern, grow my business, come up with new ideas, I have used journaling consistently throughout the past 6.5 years, ever since I discovered life coaching. And this is why I think journaling is very important, because our thoughts in our head create the results in our lives. And when you can get your thoughts out on paper, pen to paper, or you're typing, or you're dictating and you're then reading your entries of what you're saying, you will see the impact of your thinking better. And just remember, your thoughts that you have in your mind, your stream of consciousness, your active thinking that you have creates feelings in your body, okay? And the feelings in your body drive your behaviors. So we have this going on all day long, from the moment we wake up until the moment we go to bed. And if you can harness some of your brain power, the thoughts in your head, and look at them and analyze them, you can change a lot of your behavior by just being aware of how you are thinking about things. And this can be difficult to do in your head, okay? So the act of journaling or sitting down and writing, it's you showing up to see what's going on in there. And when you take time to write or type or dictate, you are slowing down your thought processes, okay? So you are asking yourself questions like, what am I thinking today? Or what do I think about what happened at work yesterday? Sometimes we use journaling to navigate difficult situations. So you might need to navigate and look at or analyze an argument you had with your spouse, something that's going on with your kids, something that's happening at work, an overdrink that you recently had, right? So when you sit down and you look at how you're thinking about something, whether you're putting it on paper with a pen, which is my recommended way. A lot of people have hand things that, make it difficult or uncomfortable for them to write with a pen to paper. So they might type or dictate. But I recommend pen to paper because it actually slows down your thought process. So when you're sitting down and you're, writing out an answer to a question you might have, or you're answering a prompt in a journal. So if you're inside a Live AF or any of my coaching programs, you have a lot of worksheets that we use on a regular basis that have questions for you to reflect on. And then you write answers out, right? So when you do that, it slows down your brain to focus on one thing. And then the act of, noticing what you think in your brain, and then as it comes through your hand, right, into the keyboard, from the pen to the paper, there's a slowing down thing that happens. And so when you slow down and you're writing that out, you just are really focused and you're paying attention to your thoughts. And that actually helps us process things better. right? We're getting it out of our mind and we're moving it through onto the paper. And in that slowing down process, it helps you really look at these thoughts, okay? And then you can understand how you're feeling. You can decide to take different behaviors based on what you've discovered in your writing. And it really is just time, slowed down time to show up for yourself and pay attention to your mind and your mental health and what's going on for you. And whenever you do that and you slow down and pay attention to yourself, you gain a lot of awareness and you connect with yourself on a deeper level, right? Like when you're just walking around, or even if you're just sitting there thinking about something, it can be difficult to untangle things. And sometimes we start thinking and going off on tangents, right? Or we start future tripping about something that might happen in the future. Journaling and thinking about one specific thing at a time slows down that process. It gets it onto paper, and then you slow down enough to actually read what you just wrote, right? So that's the reflection. You've written it out or typed it out. Now you're going to read it. And so now we're observing our own mind on paper, and it's out of our mind. So then we can look at it, okay? And then we can decide what we want to do with it. Sometimes just emptying our mind onto the paper or into text or whatever is really good. It kind of releases a lot of energy that you might have had things scrambled up in there. You might be feeling stress or overwhelmed or anxious. And the act of slowing down, paying attention to yourself, and writing out what you're thinking about whatever is going on is releasing that energy load out. And you're looking at it. And you're like, no wonder, right? It helps you understand yourself more. You're like, no wonder I feel like this. This is what I'm thinking. Also, sometimes you just aren't aware of your thoughts until you start writing, right? So like sometimes you might just be feeling off, or you might be feeling anxious or something else, right? That's just like, what is going on? And you can't identify what it is, right? By just, what am I thinking? Or why do I feel this way, when you're just questioning without writing? And so when you write, things come through that you didn't really know was in there because it's unconscious, right? So the practice of writing pen to paper slows it down enough that your unconscious thoughts can come through. And you're like, wow, I didn't realize I was thinking about that in that way, right? Again, that brings more awareness, and then you can learn more about yourself and how you think about things and how those thoughts make you feel, and then what feelings are driving the behaviors that you're doing, right? And when you get that out of your mind and you put it on paper, you can detangle things, you can solve problems better, and you have a different perspective. It's like, this is our higher prefrontal cortex being engaged, okay? Your brain, which is really cool, only humans have this, can analyze its own thinking, right? And then it can decide, you can decide, the real higher part of your brain, that prefrontal lobe, can decide to think different things. It's pretty cool. But you got to see what you're currently thinking first. So that's some of the main reasons why journaling is so important, and I highly recommend it. Yes, you can make changes without journaling. It's probably going to take you longer though. You can do talk therapy. You can get, direct coaching, sharing your thoughts, and then the coach or the therapist can reflect back to you what you're thinking and feeling. That can be awesome awareness. But when you slow down and you write that out and you can analyze your own thinking through journaling, it's a game changer, because then you can solve problems on your own without needing access to somebody live. Okay. And inside Alive AF, or in my coaching programs, we have reflection worksheets, the daily worksheet and the evaluations for Alive AF, and some of the deeper dive programs I've had in the past, like Stop Over Drinking and Start Living, and in my transformation program. That's really going to help you gain a lot of awareness on how you think and act around certain situations. And you get to know yourself better. You get to see your patterns more, and then you can decide how you want to change. But getting it out of your mind and onto paper is super helpful. Okay, so those are some of the reasons why journaling is so important. And, a good exercise would be, if you want to start journaling, but you're resistant to journaling, or you are doubting the benefits of journaling, or you're telling yourself, I don't have time to journal. These are all thoughts that you have about journaling. Okay, so maybe a fun exercise for you would be to journal your thoughts about journaling. It's kind of meta, right? So a good question is, why am I resistant to journaling? Why am I scared to journal? Why don't I journal, right? And just see what comes up for you. That's journaling, right? A lot of times it's easier if you have prompts to answer to. A lot of times people say, I don't know what to journal, which leads me into the next section that I wanted to talk about, and that's how to journal. So the basic practices to start journaling. First, if you're inside a Live AF or any of my coaching programs, just use the daily worksheets. Just slow down, answer the questions, those prompts in the daily worksheets, and that is journaling. So if you're brand new, you haven't done a lot of writing around this work to stop over drinking or changing your behaviors, that alone will get you very far. That is journaling. And those worksheets are enough. Okay? But don't just kind of go through the process. Like, slow down, ask yourself the questions, notice what comes up in your brain. And if it feels repetitive, be like, okay, what else? Like, what else do I think about this? That's a really good question. What else? What else is going on? What do I think about this, right? Okay, so that's if you're inside my programs. If you're not inside the program, I just like to reflect on the day. So I usually do my journaling in the morning. I got my coffee. It's quiet. I know that there's no interruptions happening for at least like 30 to 45 minutes. I've got my journal. I haven't started my day of work and managing the kids in the household, so my brain is pretty fresh and not bogged down by tasks and a running to-do list, okay? So for me, that's a really good time to journal. So how to journal is decide what time you're going to journal and try to develop a consistency in that time every day. Okay, so just decide what that's going to be for you. And then you just remove distractions. Okay, so we're silencing our phone, we're turning off notifications, we're putting do not disturb on things, locking doors, and we're not going to be interrupted for 15 minutes. That's it, 15 minutes. Okay, and then you just write what happened yesterday. And it might just kind of feel like a diary. And that's all you need to do for then. Okay, so you just write what happened yesterday. And just give yourself an opportunity to pause and reflect and think about what happened yesterday. When I'm thinking about what happened yesterday right now, it takes me a minute, right? I'm like, okay, well, what day is it? Yesterday was Tuesday. Okay, now I remember I had 3 coaching calls and, and then I start thinking about the kids, you know what I mean? So like just giving yourself that minute to think about what happened yesterday and you just start writing, right? Write about your work, write about your family, write about what you ate. Did you drink alcohol? Did you overdrink alcohol? What does that look like, right? So just reflect on the day that has already happened if you're journaling in the morning. That's the easiest thing to do, okay? And I just would recommend you just keep it easy to start with. And maybe for a month, that's what you're doing. Or maybe a week, right? Just reflect on the day. And then you can take it the next to like a deeper level. Okay. So if there is a problem or a goal that you haven't accomplished yet, I would decide what that is and be focused your journaling on that. So for a lot of you, you want to stop over drinking, right? And so you might ask yourself in your journal, how has my drinking been this week? Am I happy with how much I'm drinking? And you pause and you write, okay? What do I think about not drinking? What kind of relationship with alcohol do I want to have, right? And it's just free flow of thoughts. And if your brain is just like, I don't know, this is dumb. I don't know what to write. I don't know what I want. That's what you write. You write whatever comes up in your brain, okay? You don't judge it. You don't wish it was different. You just get it out. So it could be like, this is stupid. I don't know what I want with alcohol. I think journaling is dumb and Angela's crazy. Write all of that stuff out. Don't judge it. Don't edit for grammar, nothing. The idea is to just get into a practice of journaling what is happening in your mind at that moment. And so it might be, I don't know. What's the weather like today? Whatever. Okay, you do have thoughts about things. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. And if 60,000 thoughts a day are creating our feelings and driving our behavior, it's good to untangle that. It's good to see what's happening and what is running your behavior, right? And that's the second way. Okay. So like pick a problem that you have or a goal that you have that you want to accomplish and focus your journaling on that. Okay. The other thing on how to journal is you could go on Amazon and Google, search for journals with prompts. Okay. So journals with prompts, and you'll get to look through several different kinds, different themes, all sorts of stuff on there. Buy one of those, and then you don't have to think about what questions to ask. You will have that already for you, and that'll help you establish a daily journaling practice. Okay. And then the third part of this is, what do I do with my journal? I get a lot of questions about privacy and what if somebody reads it and all this stuff. And I just have to tell you, after coaching thousands of women, no one has ever reported their journal being read by their spouse or their kids, who's always that those are the usual like biggest concerns, right? Nobody could read my handwriting if they read my journal. I don't worry about that. And I think that would be a thought that's probably holding you back. There's all sorts of things. My friend Dan, he was on the podcast, the Josh and Dan podcast. He journals by sending himself an email every day, and then he files it. He like dates it and files it in an email folder, and he dictates what happened that day and his reflections on the day into an email, and he sends it to himself. Totally secure, password protected, right? But then he has a log of his experiences and his reflections, and he can go back and look and, navigate his mind that way. I think it's a beautiful idea. So there's all sorts of ways that you can protect what you're writing. You can also just tear it up and throw it away after you're done. If you're doing pen to paper in a little journal notebook, I love these size things. This is like a half a sheet of paper, half a mini travel journal size. And you just tear the page out and you throw it away or burn it, if you're worried about it. So I wouldn't let your worry about somebody else reading stop you. Just put your protections in place, right? Do you have a file cabinet with a key you could lock it up in? Just decide what you're going to do and then do that. So you could do a password protection email. You could do your notes app on your phone where only you have access to your phone, password protected. There's all sorts of things. There's all sorts of technology with your iPads and phones and things like that you can do your own research on to figure out how you want to journal. But just don't overcomplicate it. Okay. Like to get going on journaling, you just got to pick up the easiest thing that you do. And I'm guessing you probably have a notebook or a piece of paper lying around. The first time I ever journaled was on a piece of printer paper. I didn't have a notebook, and I unloaded all of my thoughts, and I was blown away at what I was thinking. I had no idea that those thoughts were in there. I mean, I knew that I had thoughts, right? But I didn't know how bad they were, and I was like, wow. I remember clearly thinking this. I wish I kept that sheet of paper. But I just went through the list of how I think about things, right? All different topics and categories of my life. And I was like, wow, no wonder I drink. It was very eye-opening. And I was not judgmental. There's nothing wrong with how you think. Okay, so a part of journaling is not judging what's in your mind. That's absolutely the most painful thing you can do, is judge how you think about things. This is always just an awareness exercise. You're curious about what's in your mind. You understand the benefits of journaling so you can organize your mind better so that you can get the results that you want in your life, because your thoughts ultimately create the results that you have in your life. Okay? Your thoughts create the quality of the relationships you have. Your thoughts about yourself create the quality of relationship you have with yourself and how you treat yourself and food you eat and what you drink and how you move your body. All of that comes back to what you're thinking in your mind. And if you don't have the results that you want right now, it's probably because you have a lot of negative thinking going on in your mind and you aren't even aware of it. So journaling is going to help you see that, but you got to do it with curiosity and compassion and not judge yourself. Okay. So in your journaling, if you notice thoughts of judgment, like, why do I think this way? Why am I like this? I suck. I never finish anything. We want to see that so that you can change those thoughts, right? And be nicer to yourself and show up for yourself with compassion. But we don't want to do a journaling exercise and then beat ourselves up about how we're thinking about things. The human mind is programmed to be negative. So we all have it. We're all judgmental. And it's better to be aware of that so that you can course correct and think different thoughts that will give you a different feeling, that will drive different action. Okay, but the first step is always awareness, and that's why we want to journal. It helps you feel better, it helps you feel connected to yourself, it puts you in a better mood. And once you start a journaling practice, then you can start more advanced mind management practices, right? I teach the thought, feelings, action model, which is your thoughts create your feelings drive your actions. And there's a way in which you can look at that and plug that into that model and then decide how you want to think differently or interrupt that thought, feelings, action model differently by processing your feelings or choosing to do nothing or choosing to do different actions. All of that is explained inside of my coaching programs and inside of Live AF. And then if you coach with me one-on-one, we definitely work on that. But if you haven't journaled, I think this is a really good place to start, is to just review what happened yesterday. Give yourself 15 minutes at the same time every day. It's like a little date with you and your mind. You show up, and then you can direct yourself where you want to go. You can write out your goals. I'm a big component of writing out your goals, how you want to think about achieving your goals, what you're going to do today. You write that down. It cements it in more so that you're more likely to do it. When your brain sees you writing it on the paper and then reads it back to yourself, it just reinforces what you're going to do, right? Like, so we know that planning our food makes us more likely to eat better, right? Instead of making last minute decisions and thinking about that in the moment when you're hungry. It's the same thing with anything you want to change in your life, right? You're going to drink less if you can uncover what you're thinking about your relationship with alcohol, right? You're going to drink less, or at least shorten the time you are over drinking if you have an overdrink, by understanding what happened and what you were thinking the day before when you decided to drink. So you can course correct a lot faster. You can prevent things from happening that you don't want to happen by journaling. You will feel better. You will feel more connected to yourself. And it's really good to get to know yourself through this process. I know myself on a very deep level. I know the feelings. I know my triggers. I know how my mind works. And I do that because I've had a long-term established relationship with pen to paper. Many, many journals I have used to solve all sorts of problems, to create my entire business, as I have done through journaling and thought work. And I will probably never stop doing that because I like being connected to myself. And when I know, like, whenever, I'm coaching somebody and it's been a few days since they've done the work and done the journaling, I'm like, okay, you got to journal this out. And then when they do, they discover all these thoughts that they were having that they didn't really see before. And then it kind of wakes them up and they're like, okay, I'm done with this, right? Like, I'm going to do these things today to get me back on track. It works every time. So I'm encouraging you to give journaling a shot. Inside the Live AF program, you have your worksheets. If you're not inside a Live AF, you have your own journal that you can buy. You can buy Journal with Prompts on Amazon. But dedicate 15 minutes to start, and maybe just do a little challenge for yourself. I'm going to journal every day for 30 days. I would love to see you guys do that. Every day for 30 days, 15 minutes, you are sitting down, you're connecting with yourself, you're learning about yourself, you're understanding your patterns, and maybe by the end of that 30 days, you will have shifted some of your thinking and some of your results around the goals you have. All right, my friends, I hope that helps. We'll talk soon. Hey, special announcement. Are you tired of promising yourself that you'll skip the wine on the weeknights only to find it harder than you expected? Well, obviously you're not alone. Most women want to break the weeknight drinking habit but struggle with the evening cravings. But what if it didn't have to be that hard? What if you had the right tools, support, and a little fun along the way? Guess what's coming? The Wine-Free Workweek Challenge. Join me and hundreds of other women in a supportive, empowering environment where you'll learn how to break the nightly wine habit for good. Whether you've tried this before or this is your first time, this challenge is designed to give you the confidence and tools you need to succeed to change your weeknight drinking. The live challenge starts on Monday, September 16th, and it goes through Friday, September 20th. Here's what you're going to get. 5 days of live coaching and interactive Q&A style calls where you can get your questions answered in real time by moi. And then a 90-minute masterclass, which is a deep dive into strategies that have helped thousands of women stop over drinking. You're going to get daily support with action-oriented emails, a comprehensive workbook, and a private community to help keep you motivated during the challenge. There's also fun and prizes. So daily challenges, I have a rockin' playlist that I'm going to share with you, and the chance to win exciting prizes. So to join the Wine-Free Workweek Challenge this time, it's $7.77. $7.77. So that's less than the cost of a glass of wine. You're going to receive 5 days of my expert guidance and unwavering support. And this is your opportunity to make a big change with your drinking without a huge financial commitment. It's just the right blend of fun and accountability to help you succeed. All right, so why do you want to join the Wine-Free Workweek Challenge and throw down $7.77? Well, it's proven. Thousands of women have transformed their relationship with alcohol through this challenge. I've been running this challenge for almost 4 years. I do it a couple times a year, and it's affordable. So for $7.77, you'll get access to the highest quality coaching and resources. I don't hold back just because it's a low-cost option. If you can't join live, it's absolutely no problem. The replays for the live sessions are going to be available the same day. And you'll have access to all of the materials, all of the live coaching calls until October 4th. So you deserve to feel better, do more, and live the life you really want. And the Wine-Free Workweek Challenge starts on Monday, September 16th. It'll help you transition into this new season. And I don't want you to miss the chance to be part of this transformative experience and see that you're not alone. So I can't wait to see you in the challenge. Just go to www.angelamascenik.com/WFWW. And if you're inside a Live AF coaching program, you are automatically registered. So there's nothing you need to do. All right. I can't wait to see you in there. Bye. I want you to check out angelamascenik.com/AliveAF. You know what it's like to have a desire to cut back on your drinking, right? You start to read books, listen to podcasts, try things, but you might not be able to yet put all the pieces and suggestions together in a way that actually makes sense and works for you. You might struggle with beating yourself up after an overdrink. You might get frustrated with yourself when you take 2 steps forward and then another 2 steps back, and get overwhelmed with what's right and wrong about your relationship with alcohol. Your friends tell you that you should be able to have just 1 drink, and it isn't a big deal. You might be white-knuckling through urges and resisting instead of peacefully processing them. And you might struggle with your identity as someone who has enjoyed having a lot of wine or alcohol in your life. It's around you all the time. It's what you do and who you are. Well, after 5 years of successfully coaching hundreds of women through these struggles, I have created the Alive AF membership, where women like you can learn the basics on what it takes to cut back and reach your goals with alcohol, whether it is to just drink less or totally quit. And when you join, you will get the exact framework I used to change my own relationship with alcohol and still use today, that has led me to be alcohol-free for over 5 years. You're going to get access to my resources, videos, and worksheets that have been proven to change and reduce how much you drink. Every day you can ask questions, share your obstacles, and get coaching and direct support on the challenges you will face with love and no judgment. Also, you will get immediate access to workshops like uncovering your alcohol identity and changing it, how to say no to things that don't support your new identity or life or goals, aka boundaries. A workshop called Creating Emotional Agency, and another one, How to Manage Your Mind to Succeed at Your Goals, and more. Every month we have a brand new workshop. These workshops are filled with step-by-step prompts and instruction to help you create the exact relationship with alcohol that is best for you. My mission and vision for Alive AF is to be a hub of support and resources for women to come and learn how to do what is best for them and becoming more alive in the process. When you join, you're going to learn how to take care of yourself better, how to feel good and become more alive and go after the life that you really want. I want this membership to be affordable and an easy solution where you can get all the help you need in one simple place whenever you need it. So, no need to go read another book, find a new podcast, attend a free webinar, or go down the path of piecemealing it all together. Join Alive AF and have it all there in one place for you anytime you need it. So, go to angelamascenik.com/AliveAF and enrollment is open right now. See you inside.